You know, guys, there is one thing every single World of Tanks games, World of Tanks Blitz, World of Tanks PC, and World of Tanks console, we're all sharing. The excitement for one specific tank, this one being the Sturmtiger. And the fact that we didn't have any news about the game having this tank, or even by the game itself not being able to do anything with it besides some events we saw previously in World of Tanks PC, we thought that we will never see the day where this thing would be added into the game as a Tech 3 tank, right? But it's about to change in less than 15 days. For the people not understanding the excitement around the Sturmtiger, this is pretty much what it looks like, because maybe some of you don't know what it is. Wargaming, and especially World of Tanks PC, released a trailer for an event where you had the possibility of actually playing the Sturmtiger. But obviously it was quite limited, because it was Sturmtiger against Sturmtiger with definitely not great statistics, or at least not realistic statistics. And this is pretty much what it looks like. It's a tank that we already saw previously in World of Tanks Blitz. It's added in pretty much every single World of Tanks games, and it's obviously one of the most hyped tanks due to its bizarre aesthetic, but also the fact that it carries the 38mm gun. And this is just insane, because I mean, no, not 38mm, 38 centimeters, sorry. And just imagine 380mm gun mounted on such a beast of a tank. And the thing is, we already saw that tank past in the days, in this event, as you can see right there. But now let's say that Wargaming step up a little bit their game concerning this tank. Because guys, it's official, World of Tanks console is adding the Sturmtiger in their game. German Tech 3 expansion, the Sturmtiger line, announced yesterday, and that is already hyped by a lot of players, including me. Just take a look at that, the new Sturmtiger line. Maybe it would be a good idea for us to take a look maybe at the, let's say, the trailer before jumping in the discussion of it. So I'm just going to leave you here with the trailer, and after we're going to talk about it.
The enemy knows our location. Look shot left.
Because I'm pretty sure that a lot of you are not aware that the Smasher we have in World of Tanks Blitz is based on the Dreadnought KV2, which is a tier 7 premium tank that was added in World of Tanks console before the Smasher in World of Tanks Blitz, and which features the exact same specs as the one we have in World of Tanks Blitz. They changed one or two things, obviously, but still, let's say that this thing right there is definitely cancer in World of Tanks console and kept its cancerousness in World of Tanks Blitz as well. But let's go back to our ship and let's take a look at what the Sturmtiger would be capable of, but maybe we will possibly talk about all the tanks, because it's actually interesting to see what Wargaming came up with when it comes to the whole line. So the first one we got to talk about is the Stug 33B, tank destroyer tier 5 from the Tech 3 German, as you saw in the video. And what is impressive about the whole line is that they feature an impressive caliber, so obviously a high alpha damage, but that high alpha damage comes with a really bad penetration, but on top of that also, and most importantly, comes with the mighty gun accuracy that completely sucks. It's obviously logic. I mean, take a look at the KV2 we have in World of Tanks PC. It's probably one of the worst tanks when it comes to the gun dispersion, and it's totally logical due to the caliber it's carrying, because just imagine if we had the Sturmtiger added in the game with the accuracy of the Leo 1, that would be completely broken. So it's kind of a way to make those tanks balance. So there we go. We have two options for the gun, one at 12.8 centimeters and one at 15 centimeters. And what I like kind of about Wargaming is that even if they put them huge guns, 15 centimeters should do if we respect Wargaming logic, 640 alpha damage. At tier 5 they are putting on only 350 alpha damage and 450 at maximum when it comes to the HE shells. Maybe something to notice about them as well, as they have a huge caliber. Let's say that their HE penetration is quite high regarding the rest of the tanks. For example, here we see the tier 5 that has 75 millimeters of penetration. And trust me, with 75 millimeters of penetration, you can go through most of the tier 5 you're going to encounter, which implies that with this tank, if you play full HE, you will probably rate pretty much everything. So now let's take a closer look at the tank, if you don't mind, because after all, this is always good looking. I kind of love the, let's say, the aspect of this tank. It looks like a big box of whatever and looks pretty cool, Of course, one last thing to notice, their gun elevation and gun depression are going to suck completely to balance them as well. So let's say that it's either you get yourself into the right city map or you are doomed. Now, the second one I want to talk about is one that is already available in War Thunder and that is quite fun to play. It's the Broom Bar. And here we are at tier 6 and we're already climbing up to some more and big damage. Unlike the tier 5 that features a 15 centimeter shell and only 450 alpha damage, here it's 660 using your gold shell. And also a good penetration, even if it's not the best, neither the worst. So let's say that it's in the norm, and yeah, it looks pretty cool. Just take a look at this for those of you that are not aware of what the Broom Bar is. And yeah, it looks like an unachieved Sturmtiger. And that's it. That's all I have to say about this one, to be fair. At tier 8, things are getting interesting because it seems like Wargaming went for a regular Yak Panther 2 on which they mounted a 21 centimeter gun, because yes, we're talking about 21 centimeter right there. Now we're switching to bigger caliber because now we're talking, guys, about some guns that are mounted on artillery. 740 alpha damage with your regular, 950 with your gold shell and your gold HE shell, and you only feature 90 millimeters of penetration. So it's a tank that is made to do splash damage, not necessarily actually being able to penetrate its target. And I kind of love the fact that he put its side skirts, because I don't know why, but it looks more authentic to me when it has those special perks. So yeah, this is it. This looks ridiculous. Just take a look at the gun. It looks like it's circumcised or something. I don't know how to put it in words, man. I just told you that the one we saw was a tier 8, and no, it was a tier 7, sorry, because the tier 8 is right there. And here things are getting a little bit extra because 262 millimeters of penetration for 780 millimeter shell. It's a Ferdinand mounted with some big ass gun. And to be fair, I don't feel like Wargaming went for something historical. I'm pretty sure that this thing never ever existed, or were never ever given a plan to actually do that, but Wargaming had to come up with something in order to make World of Tanks console relevant, so they went with this. Now things are getting interesting. The bar, the mighty bar. The Germans are interested in developing a heavily armored assault vehicle capable of demolishing well-fortified structure counted onto 1943. And here we are talking about big guns, guys. And what I love is that it seems like it has some kind of a mouse turret or something like that. But obviously, as you can see with this tank, you are definitely not made to fight in direct contact, because you literally don't have any gun depression. Your gun depression can't go lower than that, which is definitely horrible to play. And in my opinion, this thing would be upsetting to play. But the mighty reward, the tier 10, is definitely worth it. Because here, guys, even before talking about the specs, let's just admire how it looks. Just beautiful piece of tank. Just, oh man, I wish we could get something like that in World of Tanks Blitz. Maybe it will come at one point, and I'm truly thinking that this will come, but god damn, it doesn't look like beautiful, you little piece of monstrosity. So here, yeah, 38 centimeters, as I told you, and the damage, man, 1.3k with your regular shell sitting at 280 millimeters of penetration. So if we put those statistics in perspective into World of Tanks Blitz, if this tank was about to be implemented in World of Tanks Blitz, it would have 1.1k alpha damage with its regular shells that are featuring 280 millimeters of penetration. And where it becomes interesting is when we talk about HE shells, because here you would have around 1.5 or even 1.5k average damage with your HE if you manage to penetrate with a really high penetration, 100 115. It's definitely quite a lot regarding the fact that we're talking about HE shell. So yeah, in definitive, I'm quite excited for World of Tanks console to actually implement those tanks. I never had the pleasure of playing World of Tanks console, but maybe if they had this, I'm gonna buy a PS5 just to play with this, with those monstrosity, and maybe do some reviews about those tanks on my channel. And yeah, that's it. I just wanted to show you everything about what console, because it gives us a lot of hope for World of Tanks Blitz, because if it's added already with a whole line being ready in one game, why not implement it in others? This is what World of Tanks Blitz did with World of Tanks PC tanks. This is what World of Tanks Blitz did with World of Tanks console tank when it comes to the Dreadnought, etc. So maybe we will finally be able to see this tank within maybe 1 or 2 years. So yeah, brace yourself, because maybe that in the future you will have to fight something that is worse than an FV-183, the Sturmtiger. And obviously, if it comes into the game, I just hope that Wargaming will balance it correctly, because otherwise it's the whole tier 10 matchmaking that is going to be completely fucked. Hopefully you enjoyed. If that's the case, feel free to subscribe, like and share. And I'm gonna see you soon for a new video. Bye.